You know that moment when you're absolutely sure something is going to go wrong, even though nothing actually has? Or when you replay a conversation in your head and suddenly it feels like you said everything wrong, even if at the time it felt completely normal? It's subtle, quiet, almost automatic, and most people don't even question it. What's strange is how quickly this gets labeled: overthinking, anxiety, being too sensitive, as if it's a personality flaw, as if something about the way you process the world is off. But it isn't. It's a pattern. And more importantly, it's a pattern that makes sense. Because what's actually happening here isn't random. Your brain isn't just malfunctioning or being dramatic. It's predicting. In fact, one of the primary jobs of your brain isn't to show you reality as it is, but to anticipate what might happen next. There's a growing body of neuroscience that suggests the brain works more like a prediction machine than a passive observer. It's constantly filling in gaps, making assumptions, and creating narratives based on past experiences, not to confuse you, but to protect you. So when your mind jumps to worst case scenarios or quietly rewrites neutral moments into something negative, it's not lying in a malicious way. It's trying to reduce uncertainty. And uncertainty, to the brain, can feel like danger, especially if at some point in your life, unpredictability actually was unsafe. If you grew up in an environment where reactions were inconsistent, where you had to read between the lines, where small shifts in tone or behavior meant something important, your brain learned to stay ahead of things. It learned that guessing wrong had consequences. So now it guesses more often. It scans more deeply. It fills in blanks faster than most people even realize exist. Not because it wants to mislead you, but because it was trained to keep you one step ahead. And over time, that becomes automatic. The difficult part is that the same system that protects you can also distort things. It can turn silence into rejection, neutral expressions into disapproval, possibilities into probabilities. But none of this means your brain is broken, and it doesn't mean someone else's way of thinking is better. Some people move through life with less internal noise. Others move through it with heightened awareness, constantly mapping emotional undercurrents and subtle signals. Neither is right. They're just different forms of adaptation. And here's the part that often goes unnoticed. The same mind that creates these quiet distortions is also incredibly perceptive. It picks up on patterns others miss. It senses emotional shifts before they're spoken. It understands nuance in a way that isn't always easy to explain. There's a depth to it. But that depth comes with a trade-off. Because when your brain is wired to anticipate, it doesn't always wait for reality to confirm things. It fills in the story early. And sometimes that story feels so real that it's hard to question. That's the paradox. The system designed to keep you safe can at times make the world feel less certain. But it also means something important. It means your experience isn't random. It means the way your mind works has a history, a logic, a purpose, even if it doesn't always feel accurate in the moment. So when your thoughts start to drift into conclusions that feel heavier than the situation itself, it doesn't mean you're imagining things for no reason. It means your brain is doing what it learned to do, trying to protect you in the only way it knows how. And there's something quietly grounding about that, because it shifts the question from "what's wrong with me" to something much softer. What is my mind trying to prepare me for? And if this feels familiar, there's a good chance this isn't the only way your brain has been quietly shaping your reality without you noticing.